Come back again.
You're angry with me, aren't you? Sorry I nearly wrecked your pretty little car. I was just thinking how much you can tell about a person from such simple things. Your car, for instance.
Now, what kind of a message does it send you?
You have only one real, lasting love.
Now, who could that be?
You. You're one of those self-indulgent males who thinks about nothing but his clothes, his car, himself. But you do push-ups every morning just to keep your belly hard.
You against good health or something?
I can tolerate flabby muscles in a man and make him more friendly. You're the kind of a person who never gives in a relationship, who only takes. Woman, the incomplete sex. What does she need to complete her? Why, man, of course. Wonderful man.
Oh, all right, let it go. That bus stop will be coming up pretty soon, and I don't even know your name.
You forget I'm a loony from the Laughing House. All loonies are dangerous. Did you ever read poetry? No, of course you wouldn't. Christina Rossetti wrote love sonnets. I was named after her.
Christina?
Yes, Mike. I got your name from the registration certificate, Mr. Hammer.
Hi everyone, my name is Megan and this is my video essay for my analysis of Kiss Me Deadly. So I started you off this video not with me talking, but with one of my favorite scenes in the movie it's where the woman who remains nameless, and you never really know her identity throughout the movie, which is fantastic by the way. She's in a car with Mike Hammer and they're at a gas station, and she had gone off to send a letter and then had come back, and now they're driving down the road. And I wanted you to watch the whole thing through without me commenting on it in the meantime, because I wanted you guys to pay attention to the dialogue, which is what really makes this scene for me. And the dialogue itself she lays out this guy's character like nothing else. I mean, you're gonna watch the movie and you're gonna realize that this woman is absolutely correct, where everything she says about this man, where he's selfish, he only gives, he never takes, or sorry, the other way around, he always takes but never gives, and how it's all about him, and he never thinks of anybody else, and he's selfish and he's vain. He does push-ups because he wants to stay fit and look good for the ladies, which admittedly kind of works throughout the rest of the movie when the ladies throw themselves at him, but I mean, that's not the point right now. And so she lays this out like it's no big deal, all from this guy's car, and you kind of wonder, how did she know this? And that in and of itself, so we have right off the bat, without any acting at all, you have this guy's character spelled out for you. And then you also have the fact that this woman had just been running along the street in bare feet, and she was out of breath and obviously scared, but now for some reason she's incredibly reassured. And you have to wonder why. I mean, if you're running from someone and you had just gone through like a checkpoint where the cops are looking for you, and then all of a sudden you go to a gas station, you come back out and everything's fine, and you go on this critical analysis of your driver's character, it makes you wonder who this woman is and what happened in the 30 seconds that she was at a gas station to make her so reassured. And the lighting of itself of this scene is great, because this woman's face is in full light and Mike Hammer's is like half in light, half in shadow. And for the woman, from everything that I've read in terms of reading film and stuff, it's about illumination. So this woman is illuminated. So she knows a lot of truth, and she's supposed to be, like, from what I could tell, a light character, while Mike Hammer is enshrouded in darkness, which can be interpreted as he has something to hide. Which turns out to be true in the rest of the film when you realize that he's kind of a douche. like a hardcore douche. And there's also an element of you never really figure out who the woman is in the rest of the movie. So there's an element of mystery. So while she is this pure character, you have no idea why. Like, why is she completely illuminated where she not only is she a good character and a good woman, but she's illuminated and then as in she knows everything about this man without really even knowing him at all. And that's kind of incredible. And so she sets up this scene for the movie where she discusses the guy's character through and through. The man is obviously kind of confused and thrown aback. He doesn't believe that everything she said is true, but he does. Like, he knows that he's a selfish man, but it's one of those things where he doesn't want to actually admit it. And towards the end of the scene, she somehow gets scared, where you see fear come back into her face. And so she has this air of confidence in the scene, except in the last maybe like 10 seconds, where she leans back into the car seat and like a little bit more of a shadow comes across her face. And it's like she's having this premonition of something that is terrible and it's gonna happen to her. She doesn't know, I don't think she knew whether or not it would affect the man, since she was trying to like tell him to leave her and not to ask too many questions. But she herself knew something bad was going to happen. And upon rewatching this scene, I think she knew that she was going to die pretty soon, and she was terrified of that fact. And, or no, I'm pretty sure she thought she was going to die, or something that was terrible was going to happen to her. And I think the nuance of this actress's performance in terms of conveying that fear, where you can't describe it, where it's just like that gut feeling, that gut reaction, and it just plays so well into the rest of the scene, because you have this confident woman, but then she realizes, or she comes to grips with the fact that she's doomed. And so I have one more other scene to show you, and it's right after this one. And again, one of my favorites in the film, and I watched the whole film, but these two really stuck to me because it sets up the entire movie, where like these reoccurring themes come in, and it's where the story happens, and it's kind of also how it ends, because these scenes keep reoccurring. And this is like the first one. And then the scene I'm about to show you is kind of what happens throughout the rest of the movie. And so in the second scene, I'll walk you through it, and so we'll look at this together, and I'll discuss, well, at least what I think of the scene and what it means for the rest of the film. So what I liked about this scene was the fact that there wasn't a whole lot of information happening. You see the woman's legs hanging in the closet, and they're doing something to her, but you don't actually know what. And then you see this guy who's knocked out trying to come in and out of consciousness. And you have no idea, I think, at least for me, you have no idea what's happening to this woman, and that's the scariest part of it. The lack of information is what creates the suspense in the scene. And you, at least for me, the blood-curdling screams in conjunction with the horrible, horrible, I don't know, the visual of legs hanging and they're above the ground is terrifying. And I think it really plays on the fact that people fear what they don't know, and they don't. Where if you don't see something happening, your imagination makes it worse than what it actually is. So for all we know, they could be doing something relatively harmless, but because of our imaginations and the lack of input from the film itself, we think something terrible is happening. And to me, I think that was the best thing they could have done in this scene without really giving us something really gruesome. take a look about how the shoes and the legs are in this scene, and how in the rest of the movie this is really prevalent, because there are lots of scenes where you just have feet. And I think, at least for me, what this was about, besides the woman being there and just how your imagination takes a big toll on what you perceive in the film, that you're fighting an unknown enemy, where you never really figure out who your enemy is until the very end of the movie, and even then it's a little bit of ambiguous. So throughout the movie, it's like as if the movie was saying, not only are you fighting an enemy in the movie itself that you have no idea who you're fighting, but that almost correlates into every other aspect of life, where you don't always know who you're fighting, but that doesn't mean that you stop. I hope you enjoyed my analysis, even though it was kind of quick, of Kiss Me Deadly, the first couple of scenes of the movie, which were my personal favorites. Leave me tons of comments, tell me how to improve, and thanks very much.